So that's actually it for the module. We learned a lot about Python. We learned that we structure our code with indentation and colons for block statements like functions. We'll also learn about different block statements in the next module. We learned that we create functions with the special def keyword. And we learned that in general, we should follow PEP 8 when it comes to styling our code. From a feature perspective in this module, we learned about the core data types. Numbers, which comprises integers and floats, strings, as well as booleans. We also had a look at operators. We can do some base arithmetic with plus, minus, times, and by dividing values. But we also have the modulus operator, which allows us to get the remainder of a division. We got the floor division, which always returns an integer instead of a float. We got the power operator to calculate the power of a number to some other number. And it's important, we also learned that strings can be added and multiplied. Multiplication only works with one string and one integer though. It also doesn't work with floats, by the way. We had a look at lists and we learned how we can create lists with the squared brackets, that we can add items with the append function, that we can access items with their index, which starts at 0, and that we can use -1 to get the last value, and that there are other list operations like pop and so on. We saw them blink up when we used the list in the IDE, for example. Now, also important, we had a look at functions. We learned that indentation and colons define the function block, that we can use arguments, that we can return values, that we can also use default arguments, which allows us to omit arguments when calling the function, and that we can also assign values, data, to arguments by their names, so-called keyword arguments, where we can reorder arguments or skip them, provided that they have a default value. Now, last but not least, we also had a look at scope. There is global scope for variables defined outside of functions, and local scope for variables defined inside of functions. And this is actually it. Now, what about our blockchain status? We got a chain of data, we got a list of data. Of course, only a basic implementation. It's no complex data yet, but we'll refine this throughout the course. We're able to mine new blocks. And that, of course, is also something which will improve throughout the course. But now mining is a big word for asking for user input. And additionally, also in a basic way, we're able to hash our blocks. We always got this previous data in the next block. Now, we're not really taking advantage of this. We're not really able to analyze our data based on that, but it's a nice first step. And this, of course, is also something we'll improve. Now, there also are some things we haven't even had a look at, but hey, it's still only the first real module of this course. So let's continue to the next module and learn more about the blockchain and, of course, most importantly, about Python.